I reload another magazine, and as soon as I pop out to shoot, it all goes black. I remember this this like profound exhale. I ended up on the ground and I thought I was dead. I saw this top-down view of what was going on.
You had a fucking out-of-body experience in the middle of combat?
Yeah. We replaced our sniper rifles with machine guns. We were stacking so many bodies that we had to send patrols out to move the fucking bodies because they was interrupting our fields of fire.
Holy.
I see these guys run across, armed dudes. And I get the heads up to my crew. Next thing you know, I find myself in a gunfight. And I'm on the left side of this window and I'm engaging these two dudes with guns. They're shooting at us. And then we're just getting fucked up with machine gun fire. Like it's just spraying down like to the point where like we're not even engaging the window anymore. We're just gonna eat it. So we're backed off of the window, waiting to hear gaps and lulls in the fire so we can pop back out and engage. And how we started doing it was the radio operator, he would go shoot, and when he would go dry, that's when I would come in. We were playing that whole tag you're it game. Meanwhile, the two snipers in my team, they're in the prone position on the ground because when we're not actively engaging, very accurate sporadic fire is coming through our window. And it's like literally just like mowing on top of us. So if you stick your head up, you're done. And these guys are just like, oh shit, did you guys get them? Like they're kind of like laughing. They're like, fuck, they've been here, done that. They've been to the invasion of Iraq. They were in one of them was in Somalia, but it was real. It was a real deal. It was really happening. And we were not participating. We were it. And I remember going back behind the window. I reload another magazine. And as soon as I pop out to shoot, it all goes black. And I remember this, this like profound exhale that came out of me. And I ended up on the ground. And that's when I had this out-of-body experience. At the time, I had no idea what happened. I thought I was dead. I could see, if you ever play a game or if you ever seen a game where there's like a glitch where you can kind of see like a top-down view. I saw this top-down view of what was going on. I could see the fighters across the street. I could see my body. I could see my point man still shooting. I could see my other teammates on the ground. Like, what the fuck's going on? I just saw
had a fucking out-of-body experience in the middle of combat?
Yeah.
Holy shit. I've never heard of that.
Yeah. And what happened was I see this fucking light. I see all these things going on. I'm like, dude, I'm fucking dead. And I just get sucked back into this life. And then I snap and I'm in this fetal position. My body went into this fetal position. And I start to move. And I didn't know if I was convulsing or if it was from my friend kicking me. He's kicking me with his foot. He's in the prone position. Just, hey, wake up. They're like, dude, we thought you were dead. We didn't see any blood. I'm like, what happened? I'm like crying and laughing at the same time. I have no idea what's going on. I got shot right in the helmet. And I didn't know this. And I'm completely out of it. Well, my body was down, fell at the radio, near the radio. They're like, get on the radio and call in support. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what's going on? You know, I'm trying to figure out where I'm at. And they're like, get on the fucking radio and call for support. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I pick up this fucking handset. And I give like the worst radio transmissions ever. Every other word was break. Warhammer break. This is break. Grim Reaper break. We need break. I'm fucking out of it. And I get it out. I muster it out. I would call them like, hey, here's their fucking location. This is what's going on. And I'm getting broken comm. And we're still under fucking fire, under attack. And so my team was like, we got to get out of here. So we pack up the radio and we work our way downstairs. And I find myself with a radio operator holding, basically being a shield for him so he can set up the antenna, get communication, and we can get fucking contact. Because we're like, dude, shit's about to get real. And my team leader and my assistant team leader, they're cradling their sniper rifle and they got their pistol out. And I can see kind of the doorway of the building we're in, and then I see this window right in front of me as I'm like peeking out of this bathroom. And it's a very tall window, and I see this head, the top of this head, walk by. I see this turban and everything walk by. I'm like, fuck. Because this is the real fucking thing. So I'm like, fucking tell everyone, shut the fuck up. There's people coming. So my guy stops on the radio communication because it's loud as fuck. We didn't have the best radios and antennas back there, and we're in a concrete building. We're not in a favorable position to achieve communication superiority. And we're somewhat locked down, so we're not even in a true defensive posture. We're almost just waiting for it. And I see this shadow get bigger and bigger into this room. I couldn't see anymore because I wasn't peeking out anymore, but I just saw the shadow figure get bigger and bigger and bigger until this fucking man's face, this adult face, crests the corner, and I just jam my fucking gun into his face. He's got no weapon. I fucking hit him. I'm looking at him, and I'm like, what the fuck do we do? And they're like, oh, he's trying to come in and fucking look at body counts. You know, he's a fucking spy. He's on the lookout. And I'm like, I'm still like semi-throwing up. I'm dizzy. I don't know what the fuck's going on still. I'm semi-conscious to this, but like, I'm trying to process a whole bunch of stuff. And there's a whole bunch of stuff that I need to give that my priority than my own feelings and concerns and thoughts and emotions. One person ends up turning into 7 people. People started to come to our house. No weapons. And we did not know what to do. And I'm like, I'm not going to fucking kill these people that have no guns. Like, at that point in time, I made that decision. Like, I'm not going to, anyone can kill. And at a fucking young age, before I really learned what that life was about, they weren't a threat to me. And you can't just, I don't know, at the time I didn't do it. So it is what it was. But we didn't have any stuff to hog tie them. We didn't have anything to secure them. All we had was fucking our weapons drawn at them. And we're like, dude, we are so fucked. We got to get the fuck out of here. Because they make a jump on us, we're done. Yeah, we'll take care of a few. But dude, we're outnumbered. Almost 2-1 at this point. Just males. And it was so random. And instead of them walking by, I'm like ushering them in. I'm grabbing them, forcibly bringing them in. Because the last thing I wanted them to do is run away and tell people that these 4 gringos are inside this house. And they have no idea what's going on. And my team was like, dude, we gotta make a bail for it. We gotta make a run for this thing. And our only option was to hit the road, skirt the fucking town, and just run until we made contact with friendlies. Because we're still getting fucking shot at. It's not as violent now. It's sporadic at this point. But now we have these guys come in and do quality checks. And we have no idea what they are, what they're about, what they represent, who they work for. It's just a lot of weird things that are happening all at once. And so we work ourselves out of this house, and we just started to bound. And we just kept on bounding until we ran into an infantry squad. And we tell them what's going on. We're like, yo, dude, we're in this building over here. We got in contact from across the street. And they're like, oh yeah, we heard that shit. So we showed up and we just started fucking blasting both buildings. We didn't know anything. I'm like, not really putting 2 and 2 together. And I'm like, oh, y'all are blasting that fucking building too. They're like, oh yeah, we're fucking blasting that building. We're blasting that building. And this is new, you know? They didn't know shit. We didn't know shit until we started to like piecemeal these stories together. At the time while that's taking place, I'm throwing up. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? I get a Motrin and a cigarette. And the doc looks me over, does that little eye sensory check, and he's like, okay. TBI wasn't a thing back then.
Yeah.
No one knew what that shit was. And as we're basically teaming up, sharing stories, they're telling us, oh yeah, so-and-so got shot through and through the ass. Well, little did we know his OIF-1 deployment, he got shot through and through the ass again. So this is now the ass guy. So there's some laughter going on in this like very chaotic place, which is still kindergarten compared to the varsity that Fallujah was truly about. We're like 6-7 hours into the first day in this thing. It's nothing. It's all a cakewalk. And we get tasked that we're like, hey, Delta is doing a mission down the road. we need to go provide sniper support for them. We're providing basically a cordon for them, outer support. And I tell my assistant team leader, I'm like, dude, I'm fucking done, bro. He's like, suck it the fuck up. I'm like, roger that.
Managing a household, especially with kids, is no small feat. I totally get it, and that's why I've made sure my family has a plan in place if something unexpected ever happens. But what about you? Do you have a plan to help protect your family's financial future? Don't worry. Fabric by Gerber Life can help. Fabric by Gerber Life is term life insurance you can get done today. Made for busy parents like you, all online, on your schedule, right from your couch. You could be covered in under 10 minutes with no health exam required. Fabric has flexible, high-quality policies that fit your family and your budget, like $1 million in coverage for less than $1 a day. Fabric also has free digital wills, tools to invest in your kids' future, and more, all right from your phone. Join the thousands of parents who trust Fabric to help protect their family. Apply today in just minutes at meetfabric.com/srclips. That's meetfabric.com/srclips. meetfabric.com/srclips. Policies issued by Western Southern Life Assurance Company, not available in certain states. Prices subject to underwriting and health questions.
So we go on this like baton death march to link up, to set up this outer cordon. And I am walking left and right. I'm dragging my fucking gun. He's like, pick up your fucking rifle. I'm like, dude, I am fucking trying. I'm toast at this point. I'm hitting all the dopamine, the adrenaline's wearing off, and like, I just got shot in the helmet. Hell, I don't even know who I got shot in the helmet by at this point, and I don't feel good. I'm getting to the point where I'm physically incapable of actually performing my job. We set up the railroad tracks, and they're like, all right, you're good. We're here. And the next thing you know, I passed out. Passed out these railroad tracks. I remember Delta doing their mission. They're like, hey, we're good. We appreciate it. They do their shit, obviously super fast, very calculated, very inspiring. And we're there on, squirter control, providing powder in his life. We're there for a little bit, waiting for the next tasking order. Because now we're probably 7 o'clock in the evening. We haven't accomplished shit. We haven't cleared through anything. We've reacted to stuff. And we come back to where we started at the very beginning of the phase line, and my commander's like, hey, I'm gonna send you back. I'm like, I don't want to fucking go. He's like, no, you're gonna go back and get checked out. I'm like, no, I want to stay here with the team. He's like, listen, all we're doing is setting up mortars for the night, and then we're all pulling out in the morning. You have my word. I'm like, okay. So I go back, I get checked out. Eyes around the camper like this. Because now we're like, wait a second. We heard the stories. We saw the wounds. We hear the fucking explosions. Now we experienced it all. And, half this unit is full of new guys. And even the old guys were like, fuck, this is intense. Even for this entry-level stuff that happened, this was nothing. Nothing. This was a drop in the bucket compared to the fucking storm that was coming. And so we're back in the rear. I get checked out. Basically, we had 2.5 weeks before we went back in the city. And this time the plan was to go back in the city and establish a stronghold. So my team was to support, 2 teams, sniper teams were to support Echo Company, and Echo Company was going to be the anvil of the main element, the main effort. Basically meaning we were going to take over these few buildings, and the other companies, other companies in their battalion were going to start pushing fighters towards us. And so the thought process and the objective was, we'll go firm. We'll use all these adjacent units to basically just like push the hornet's nest vector them into one area, to one kill zone, and then we'll do what must be done. And leading up to this, I'm like, no idea what to think. So we load up again, and this is when I see my first dead guy, like right in front of me. I pull up in a Humvee and I'm eating strawberry applesauce. And I'm like, bro, I love to eat. And I'm definitely going to get my food in before I got to go do God knows what I got to do. And so I'm pulling up because the grunts came in, because at this point we've established overwatch across this bridge. The grunts go in, they clear the strongholds, they get in a fight, and they basically secure these objectives, the main element of this whole operation. And what we're doing is we're just eating rockets, we're eating mortars. I'm dealing with, human shields. I'm dealing with calling in airstrikes. I'm doing all these things, fighting from an Amtrak basically, while all this is taking place. So this is a very quick evolution, but it seems forever. We link up, and I'm shoving strawberry applesauce in my mouth. And then I see Frank the Fallujah laying outside, bloated as shit, guts and glory. And he was a fighter as the Marines pushed in to clear these strongholds. And I'm just like, looking at this fucking dude's brains. I'm like, I finished my food. I'll leave it in the fucking truck. I grab my pack and I go inside. And it is just like a bunch of ants moving around. Grunts are good at 3 things: cleaning weapons, filling sandbags, and killing shit. And they are cleaning weapons and filling sandbags. That's the phase of life we're all in. Luckily for me, my sniper team, we make our way up to the rooftop, and I'm on Overwatch. And that's basically how I found myself into this next phase of fighting and combat, was this Overwatch aspect. And it changed. Everything fucking changed after that. April 26th, so exactly 30 days after I got dinged in the helmet. For weeks now, we're taking sniper fire from this one building. And at this point, we made so much noise. We were stacking so many bodies that we had to send patrols out to move the fucking bodies because there was interrupting our fields of fire.
Holy shit.
And there were so many bodies being stacked that the locals were driving up their ambulances and picking up bodies also. And our main fight was the sniper alley. And we would see fighters in black man jammas, running left to right. And they were pushing our max ranges for our max velocity for our sniper rifles. Our 308s were not fast enough to see them on the right side to hit them on the left side. We had no time to lead them in a very small window. So we were getting our paydays closer. So we basically stopped shooting at them, or we would shoot and purposely harass them. We would miss. We would just let you know we're there, because what we wanted to do is draw them in more. We wanted them to get comfortable and complacent. And so then we found out they were leaving telltale signs. They were leaving markings. They would leave rocks. They would have a runner that would come leave a rock by an edge and says, "Don't cross here. This is only for lookout." And they'd leave a can over here, and this is where you run. Because fighters, they're not on ICOMs. At the time, they're not on iPhones chatting to everybody. They're getting a very small brief, and they're going to fight.
How'd you guys figure that out?
Observation.
How long did that take?
3 days.
3 days to figure out a rock is
Yep, because
a no-go and a can is go.
Because up to that point, we just looked at it as, at this point, we were looking at weeks, right? A couple weeks of what's happening. And then we're like, wait a second. They have a system in place that we're not seeing. So then we focus all of our efforts on specific observation. And it just kind of worked out that way.
But that's a good fucking pickup. Especially if you're talking, you're far enough away to where you can't kill these guys because the rounds aren't fast enough. They're too far away, and you're picking up cans and rocks. Is a go, no go.
Because when you're complacent, your enemy is complacent. You're a product of your environment. And the more harsh we were, the more fucking harsh these guys were. The more gray space we gave them, the more gray space they took advantage of. And so we just stopped. We changed it up a little bit. And we were like, hey, don't shoot. We let them fucking get some wins. Because I got an infantry platoon over here. They're gonna smoke these guys, but we don't wanna keep on smoking them right here. We want to figure out what the fuck's going on. And so now we bring in our Mark 19s to our rooftops, and we just dial this shit in.
So real quick for the audience, the Mark 19 is a grenade launcher and basically a fully automatic
grenade launcher. Very heavy. Looks like a fucking turtle with a big old unicorn spout. And little eggs come out of it. And those eggs go boom. And the machine gunners got super smart. Machine gunners were like, oh, bro, we're doing this. So we're bringing Mark 19s up there. We're revectoring our machine guns on there. And we're just dealing death. And it was crazy. It was literally fish in the barrel almost. Because one guy would poke out here and 3 guys would run that way. One guy would poke here and then 2 guys would run this way. So now we're like, okay, you take the left side, this phase line, you take the right side, this phase line, and that's how we're picking up. So now instead of trying to like lead them, we're holding on these places. So as soon as we hear an audible or we see it in the peripheral, then that is our trigger to engage. Because now we have someone in observation that's seen the whole thing, a little further zoomed out. We have guys on these 10 power fixed Johnny Nerdle scopes from Vietnam with silk webbing, right? Old school fixed power, in an urban environment is not ideal. Very, very scary. At least I thought it was, because you're instantly tunnel vision. And when you're tunnel vision down a tunnel vision channel, that's even scarier. Because there's a bunch of doors and windows and moving things and all sorts of things happening. And like, you have to have your head in a swivel. That's why we worked really well as a team. It sucked to not be on the sniper rifle, but being on observation was just important because it was a team thing, right? The only way we're going to win, the only way we're going to come out of this thing alive is we work together. And that's what I really enjoyed a lot about all that hell that we experienced. So we basically wrapped this up. We replaced our sniper rifles with machine guns, and the machine gunners, they took care of the rest. We had a new point of friction, was this house across the Joe Lawn Cemetery. And this is a really big cemetery, very ancient looking. And across the cemetery was a mosque, and right to the right of the mosque was this building with a blue satellite dish on top. This blue satellite dish house, we were always receiving pretty effective sniper fire from. And our commander, and at this time, we're in so much shit. We're calling in airstrikes on a nightly basis, to the point where our whole house, Spooky was really big back in the day, Spooky, the C-130 gunship, our house was yawing. So much danger close fucking fire missions happening, 105s, 40 Mike, fucking you name it, it was happening. If it could come out of the sky and out of a plane and kill shit, it was coming. And that's how I attribute I could sleep through anything right now. Because you had to you couldn't always fight. Every time there was a fight going on, you could run up, grab your shit, run to the rooftop, but you have to be smarter because the fight's going to continue tomorrow. And that's where that discipline of the warrior comes in, where, it's if I'm needed, they will call me, and that's hard to do because you want to be involved, you want to participate, but fuck, man, you can't run yourself ragged. You're in a deployment for 6 months. We've been here 4 weeks. There's a lot of shit. If this is 4 weeks into this thing, I couldn't imagine what many more months is going to be like. And so we draw so much attention, making headlines. Delta shows up to our position. And they're like, hey, we heard you guys were in the shit. And we're like, every fucking day. And they're like, well, hopefully we can help.
No matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.